Coding is dead. They lied to you. For 20 years, the gatekeepers told you that to build $1 million SaaS, you needed a computer science degree, 10,000 hours of practice, and a caffeine addiction. But in 2025, that advice isn't just outdated, it's dangerous. Google's CEO recently admitted that more than 25% of all new code at Google is written by AI. If the trillion-dollar giants aren't writing code from scratch anymore, why are you? Here is the brutal truth. The era of the coder is ending. The era of the builder has begun. You don't need to learn syntax, you need to learn leverage. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 AI tools that turn zero experience into shipped product. We are going to build a functional app stack from scratch. I'll show you the architect, the designer, the editor, and the employee. And you need to stay until the very end, because tool number 7 is not just a tool, it is effectively a hired human developer that lives in your browser, and it will take you from a single sentence to a deployed money-making application while you go get a coffee. You are about to save 10 years of your life. Let's build. We are going to move fast. This isn't a top 10 list you skim on a blog. This is a workflow. First, we'll use the architect to design our logic, because bad code written fast is still bad code. Then we'll use the UI generator to make it look like $1 million instantly. We'll look at the browser builders, tools that let you run full-stack apps without installing a single thing. We'll cover the heavy hitters, GitHub Copilot and Cursor, and I'll show you exactly which one is for you. And finally, we unlock the agent. If you have an idea for a business but don't know technical co-founders, this video is your co-founder. Let's dive into section 1. The architect, Claude 3.5 Sonnet. The problem: most non-coders fail not because they can't write code, but because they can't think like a system. You try to build a house without a blueprint, and you end up with a bathroom in the kitchen. The AI solution: enter Claude 3.5 Sonnet. This isn't a code editor, this is your CTO. Step-by-step use case. Before you write a single line of code, you open Claude. You don't say, write me an app. You say, I want to build a SaaS that tracks freelance expenses, act as a senior system architect, outline the database structure, API endpoints, and user flow. Look at that. It just gave you the product requirements document. It defined your users, your data, and your features. The secret. Here is the pro tip: artifacts. When Claude generates that plan, click the artifact window. You can ask it to generate a visual flowchart using mermaid.js. Now you can literally see how your app works before it even exists. But a plan is just a piece of paper. Now we need to make it look real. And if you think you need to hire a designer for $5,000, you are about to be very angry at how easy tool number 2 makes this. The designer, V0 by Vercel. The problem: you have the logic, but your app looks like it was built in 1998. You don't know CSS, Tailwind, or padding. The AI solution: this is V0. It is a generative UI system built by Vercel. It doesn't just draw a picture, it writes production-ready code that looks incredible. Step-by-step use case. Go to v0.dev. Paste the user flow from Claude. Type: create a modern dark mode dashboard for a freelance expense tracker. Include a sidebar, a chart for spending, and a transactions table. Boom! It gives you 3 options. You can click on the buttons, type in the fields. It's interactive. The secret: you can refine it. Highlight the chart and type. Make this a donut chart and use a pastel color palette. It updates only that section instantly. Designers used to take 3 weeks to do this. You just did it in 3 minutes. But now, we need to make it functional. Okay, you have a plan and a design. Usually, this is where you hit the environment wall. You have to install Node.js, npm, git, VS Code, and you get a terminal error before you even start. Stop installing things. Use Bolt.new. Bolt is a web container. That's a fancy way of saying it's a full computer running inside your browser tab. Open Bolt.new. Paste that code V0 gave you, or just tell Bolt, build a full-stack expense tracker using React and Supabase. Watch the right side of the screen. It is installing the backend. It is setting up the server. It is launching the app. And you are just sitting there. You can interact with the app, live in the browser. It's not a prototype, it's a running application. Bolt isn't just for looking, it can deploy. There is a button in the top right corner that says, Deploy to Netlify. 1 click. It gives you a URL. You can send that link to your friends, your investors, or your mum. It's live on the internet. But here is the catch. Bolt is great for starting. But what happens when you need to handle complex million-dollar business logic? What happens when the app breaks? You need a tool that doesn't just build, it understands. That is where the heavy hitters come in. You're staring at code you don't understand. It's scary. You need a guide who knows every language on Earth to sit next to you and explain what the hell is going on. GitHub Copilot. This is the OG. It lives inside your code editor, like VS Code. For a non-coder, Copilot isn't for writing, it's for learning. Let's say Bolt gave you a file and you don't know what it does. Highlight the code, press Ctrl+I, type, "Explain this code to me like I'm 5 years old." Now, the code isn't hieroglyphics, it's a manual. Copilot Workspace, this is their new agent mode. You can open a GitHub issue on your phone and Copilot Workspace will brainstorm the fix, write the code and test it before you even open your laptop. It's like having a junior developer working while you sleep. The problem? Bolt is great, but it still feels a bit codey. You want the Apple experience. You want to describe a vision and have it appear, no questions asked. You need to try Lovable. Lovable is positioning itself as the GPT engineer. It is built specifically for people who care about product, not implementation. The interface is clean, simple. You type, "Build a Tinder clone, but for adopting shelter dogs." Lovable doesn't just build the page. It connects to a database and handles authentication automatically. It assumes what you need, the Fix-It button. In most AI tools, if you get an error, you're stuck. In Lovable, if the app crashes, a Fix-It button appears. You click it. The AI reads the error log, edits the code, and reloads the page. You don't even have to read the error message. Lovable is magic, but sometimes magic isn't enough. Sometimes you need raw, unadulterated power. If you are serious about building a real company, you will eventually need to leave the browser sandbox. You need the tool that the pros are switching to in droves. The problem? VS Code is the standard editor, but it was built for humans. It wasn't built for AI. The AI solution? Cursor. Cursor is a fork of VS Code. It looks exactly like it, but it has an AI brain baked into the metal. Step-by-step use case. You are going to use a feature called Composer, CMD+I. This is the God mode of coding. You can drag entire folders into the chat. You say, "Scan my entire codebase. I want to add a dark mode toggle to the settings page. Update the CSS, the React components, and the user state. Do it all at once." Watch that. It is editing 5 files at the same time. It knows that changing the settings page affects the CSS file. It connects the dots. The surprise or secret, tab, autocomplete. Copilot suggests the next line. Cursor suggests the next paragraph. It predicts where your cursor is going to go next. It's almost spooky. You will find yourself just hitting the tab key repeatedly, watching the code write itself, feeling like a hacker in a movie. We have covered the architect, the designer, and the editor, but they all have one flaw. You are still the project manager. You still have to move files around. You still have to deploy. What if you could fire yourself? The AI solution, Replit Agent, and it is the most impressive piece of software released this year. The problem? Deployment. Database provisioning. Secret keys. This is the valley of death for non-coders. Step-by-step use case. You open Replit, you click New Agent, you type, "Build me a real-time chat application for customer support." And then you take your hands off the keyboard. Look at the screen. It isn't asking you for permission. It is creating the database, writing the backend, writing the front end, and deploying it to a live server. The surprise or secret, voice mode. You can use the Replit mobile app. You can literally talk to the agent while you are walking your dog. "Hey, change the button color to blue and add a delete message feature." By the time you get home, the app is updated. This is 0 to 1. This is the future. We used to complain that we didn't have the technical skills. That excuse is gone. We used to complain we didn't have the money to hire devs. That excuse is gone. You have the architect, Claude, the designer, V0, and the employee, Replit. The barrier to entry has been smashed. The only barrier left is your ability to focus and execute. The challenge. Here is my challenge to you. Don't just watch this video. Pick one tool, just one. Open it this weekend and build something stupid. Build a calculator, build a recipe list, just build. Because the people who learn these tools today will be the ones running the companies tomorrow. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of the curve. I'll see you in the next build.